No, you still got more?
You're in a half yard.
What?
We're doing a little sunken living room. Should be a real easy one. I bid this actually and did all the math for the concrete and everything just through Instagram. The guy found my Instagram page and hit me up and said he wanted to fill in his sunken living room. He's got a lot of remodeling going on. He just got the house, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up for him today. Should be an easy one dayer. I'm gonna tie up the rebar right now. We got concrete coming in about 2 hours, so yeah, here it is. Let's get it. Oh, and it's a little interesting right here. The concrete's actually gonna go above this brick. I'm just gonna put a form right here, and yeah, it'll just go about 2 inches above that, but that'll be fine.
Hi, David Odell here with Odell Complete Concrete. So that first clip was running out of concrete. So he initially ordered 3.5 yards because he based it on 4 inches deep. He didn't really realize, I guess, it was 6 inches. So that's why they came up short. And it gets really interesting how they recovered from that without having to get another concrete truck out here. It's just basically really hard labor when you want to recover without having another truck come out. You're going to do a lot of mixing by hand. So he's got the Owens Corning pink bar going in here at about 18-inch centers. Makita rebar tire. Got the Milwaukee Roto hammer with the vacuum pack on there. So it gets all the dust, really keeps it clean on especially interior work like this. Now you can't really drill those exterior walls because they're probably only 6-inch stems. I mean, you could potentially drill at about a 45-degree angle or something and then use steel and then bend them down or something, but there's really no need. The concrete's not going to really go anywhere because it's locked in here on a foundation that's in really good shape. There's no cracks in it. So the nice thing about, we can use dobies on this because of the depth. 3-inch dobies, got about 3/4 of an inch of rebar on there. So you're only about 4 inches. So you're going to still have 2 inches of concrete over the top of them. And it's interior, so you don't have to worry about the climate.
I got here early today.
That's all right. You know, the traffic.
Good to see
So
you.
what do you need to, what do we got to finish?
Just 3.5 yards.
Yeah, the rebar you had to your time.
Oh yeah, I finished. So right here, I'm just establishing my benchmark elevation, the top of existing concrete, and I'm gonna transfer that benchmark level right across to this this brick over here, this fireplace, where we're gonna be pouring right over it. And this is mainly just so I can get a nice level pad throughout the whole process. And this is the only part where I need to put my elevation lines, because everywhere else we're just pouring to the top of this, or the bottom of the sill plate, the top of the existing foundation. Now, this doesn't have to be done with a laser level. I just happen to have one, but you could do this with a long 2x4 and a level as well, and it'll get the job done.
This is my son, Andres.
Oh, Andres. What's up, man?
You know, I argued with me this morning because he didn't want to come over here to work with me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, guys, about an hour into the job, and I've gotten pretty far. I got it all set up. I'm just waiting for concrete. But what I did here, I just did fiberglass rods on 2-foot centers with 3-inch dobies to kind of just keep it up in the concrete so no one has to pull it up all day while we're pouring. I also did rebar dowels every 2 feet in the existing concrete floor. And let's see what else. That was basically it. I did set a little form here because we're going to be pouring right over this fireplace, as I said earlier. That red chalk line right there is where we're going to be pouring up to.
And then, yeah, that's basically it. I'm just waiting for concrete now. It should be here in about 30 minutes. So I'll see you guys when it gets here.
The concrete mix design is going to be a 3250 psi with zero fly ash.
Right under the wood, yeah. Right to the bottom of that 2x4.
We're basically pouring to the bottom of the seal plate.
Okay, you ready?
Just need to mix it a little bit better. I know.
Nothing? No, you still got more? Nothing? You're in a half yard.
What? Should I do what Home Depot? See some bags? Yep.
So basically what happened, that was the moment that they realized they didn't have enough concrete. So Tyler took off and headed for the Home Depot. He's going to grab a pallet, which is approximately 1 yard of concrete. Juan has his son with him today, and he's going to be real valuable on this one because of all the hand mixing and just moving the bags of concrete to the wheelbarrows. All the bags go in, and they went with the Home Depot, the red bags, the quick setting concrete mix. And even though it took them a good hour and a half to get those mixed up, put in the hole, it still dried quicker than the ready mix truck. The ready mix truck had 1% accelerator in there, and it was 3250 psi. And the red bags, the quick setting from Quickcrete, it still went off quicker than the rest of it. And you're looking at probably a good 2 hours difference in batch time. But so that's how important the different mixes, how different mixes can affect the outcome. So that middle area where they hand mix, that's already completely burned in, nice and tight and smooth. And they're still waiting on that first load. So in a situation, if this was to happen on a job where it's exterior concrete that's not going to get covered by anything, like interior going to cover with something, wood, tile, something's going to happen to it where you're not going to see the concrete. So by using two different types of concrete, they'll probably never be the same color when it's cured out. So that's not something that you'd want to do on an exterior area, because you're going to have two different color concretes. No one's going to really know why. They're just going to think, wow, this is not very nice looking. You got a dark piece of concrete, and then it gets lighter over here. But that's what happens when you do two different batches, different mix designs. They never come out the same exact color. But that's how you open up a house. When you get the sunken room filled to level with everything else, you've just really opened up your space. Made your house seem a lot bigger. Fireplace hearth got a little smaller, however, but it's still functional. Electrical outlets will have to come up a little bit, but that's no problem. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. That way you'll be notified on our next upload. Have a good day.